Shalom, 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 children of the Most High God. I believe that you are well. I believe that you are keeping safe and Jehovah is protecting you. Today I'd like to invite you to this robust discussion. I would like us to be pragmatic and be real. What is happening in our spiritual realm? Believers, we are asleep. Jesus told us to watch and pray, watch and pray, watch and pray, to be vigilant and resilient. But we are not. Islam is gaining momentum, and Kenya is approaching caliphate. The cities, the nations that have caliphate began where we are. They're in the process of making Kenya a caliphate. Caliphate is an Islamic state governed by a caliph, a political and religious leader. It would be long. Caliphate is in the process. There is strategy to achieve a caliphate. And the process has begun. They start by having a commerce and trading center. We have seen what happened in Italy. It has become a hub. And they have controlled many of the businesses, sectors. It is a strategy to achieve a caliphate. Another strategy is strategic political alliance. Strategic political alliance. When you look at ODM and UDA, Muslims took a very center stage in decision making of those political parties. Is strategic. They have to have a seat on the platform of men whereby decisions are made. Another strategy is through mission, dawah, evangelism. And there is also another lethal military campaign where they use force to force people to conform to Islam and to adhere to the rules of Islam. And another strategy that they use that I believe is part of the bargaining. You know, for one to win an election in Africa, you must apply three principles. The first one, you require a good strategy of either stealing election or manipulating election. The next strategy, you require a good narrative. Like this government came through Asla versus Dynasty and bottom-up narrative. And you require money. So the point of money is what we want to address today. This government and the opposition was heavily funded by the Somalis, was heavily funded. So they have a bigger stake. They have entitlement. They have a say in this government. They are part and parcel of this government. Not like our community that was receiving. We were recipient. Churches were recipient. But Somalis were the givers. The money that we received, part of them came from the Somali community. So they have a stake. And part of the condition were strategy of achieving a caliphate in the near future. Why am I telling all this? Because we are under siege. The church is the victim. Micah chapter 5 verse 1. The Bible says, gather your troops. We are under siege. The sentinel are asleep. Our bishops are asleep. They don't see the danger. They are making money. They are making empires. They are making deals. They are lobbying for jobs. They are sourcing a job for their kindred to work with the government. Their mouth is full, they cannot talk. But these are the reality, the fact on the ground. Yesterday, the president made a proclamation saying that there will be integration of Islamic religious studies in our system. What is that? That is evangelism. That is one way of achieving caliphate, called appeal of Islamic training or teaching. That is how they achieve caliphate in other jurisdictions. Introduction of Islamic studies. That is how they spread. When they come to a neighborhood, they start those Islamic studies and they convert the children. And you know, when you convert the children, it will be very hard to convince them otherwise. That is a one way of achieving caliphate. Appeal for the religious Islamic teachings. The president said yesterday during Madaraka Day celebration. So now they'll have a tool of evangelism, education. And another condition that were met because of money, the money to campaign, the money that funded UDA came from Somali community, bulk of it. What happened? Condition, regardless of the danger. The president abolished mandatory and extra vetting process. For what? For the citizens in northern Kenya and other bordering counties who are applying for the national ID. So now, you know what happened in Somali. You know their allegiance. You know their demographics. It was a big risk, but he has to meet part of bargain. They funded the UDA government, so they have to be considered in appointments and other privileges. That's why I'm inviting you. Pray, because we are looking at the future. We will not be silent when things are happening that will affect Christianity. The book of 2 Peter chapter 3, 1 Peter chapter 3, the Bible is telling us to defend the faith. To defend the faith. How do we defend the faith? By telling you what is happening, so that we will pray, not that we are under siege. Things are not rosy. We cannot brag that we are okay because we are making big churches. But look at the future. The caliphate is gaining momentum in Kenya. Look at the influence of the Somalis for the past 5 years. In every sector, caliphate is on the offing. I'd like to invite you. Don't say that I'm comfortable. Esther was told you are now in the palace, but don't think that you are safe. Caliphate. The day caliphate will come, when you'll be forced by Sharia law, you will not be safe. We have seen it. We have been in Arab nation, and we know what we are telling you. So, child of God, pray fervently, pray hard, be resistant in prayer, and God will fight for us. The Bible says in Exodus 14:14, he shall fight our battle. But we have to tell him, this is our battle, for him to fight our battle. See you in the next teaching. My name is Erick. Bye-bye.